Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode to the Power of N, where N is networking, and we are going to unleash some of the secrets of networking today with our esteemed guest, Carlos Santos. Carlos, it's amazing to have you on the show, and I can talk about the immense profile that you have. You are a professor, you are a journalist, you have some of the most impressive LinkedIn profile. So I am going to ask you the same question that we ask all of our guests. What are your tips and tricks for networking, and how has that helped you? Welcome to the show, Carlos.
Okay, first of all, Nash, thank you very much for the invitation. For me, it's a privilege to reach and talk to your audience about my networking tips. What I would say, number one, is be bold. Like, people are human beings. Even the president or the pope, they are like people that go to the toilet, they smile, they suffer, they have their concerns. So it's like be bold and try to reach to them without being afraid, right? The second thing I would say is like try to think about what value would you give to them, right? For example, one time I reached out to a former vice president of Ecuador and I invited him to my university. What he wanted is to have a bit of exposure so his audience grows, and what I wanted for my students was to learn what happens behind the scene of a political, like in the political realm of a country, right? And yes, also to think what they can win out of the situation when you ask for something, right? And then point number 3 would be to have like a personalized approach. It's like you cannot go and say, hi, how are you? I go with something like concrete, right? To tell them like, I'm a professor here and I would like that you come to the university and like that you can reach to my students. And it's always about making the situation a win-win situation for both.
Carlos, let me ask you, one of the most impressive thing about your profile is the posts that you put on LinkedIn. They are such powerful, and one such is about paternity that I absolutely love. Can you talk to me a little bit about that post?
Actually, when I knew that my first daughter was going to be like a daughter, right? Not a male, like I was like struggling a lot. Why? Because I was really aware of the gender violence numbers within my country. So to calm down, actually, my wife had to buy me an ice cream, right? But then I decided that I want to be an agent of change in that aspect, right? And for me, my daughters are my biggest treasure. I have 2 daughters, and now my wife is waiting the third. In 2 weeks, I'm going to be the father of the third girl. And for me, it's just like it's such a blessing, and it has given me the opportunity to connect to the female side of me, let's say, in a way. But I see so many men that actually want to be the best dad that they can be. It's just that society doesn't let them, right? And that's why I'm a huge advocate about like equalizing paternity leave. So like actually that's the main reason for having the structural inequality that we have right now is the lack of paternity leave for men. So what I'm trying to do is to create a movement and to change a bit the way society sees paternity and maternity, and to talk instead of like one's against the other is to talk about complementarity, right? Men and women are different, but how can we help each other to actually get synergies and to make the best for the family? And my main point there is, and that I always repeat, is if I want to be a good dad, the most important thing is to be a good husband or a good partner, right? Even if you divorce your child, the most important is to always treat your partner in a good way, because that's what your kids are going to look out in their future partner. So that's what I'm trying to bring to the table.
Oh, that's amazing, and that's a great way to network as well, and to put your point out there by being in front of the audience and getting that information. And thank you so much, Carlos, again for being on the show. It was a fantastic journey, and I absolutely would cherish the quote which says, luck doesn't exist, it's just an opportunity that meets its talent. Thank you once again, Carlos, for being on the show and sharing your wisdom, and thank you everyone for tuning in and listening to the show today. And for more such episode, watch out for To the Power of N. Thank you, Carlos.
Thank you. All the best. God bless.